Hello everybody, my name is Nightshade and I'd like to welcome you back to another episode of Let's Play Monster Hunter World. In the last episode we hunted ourselves a Puke and set ourselves a goal of getting a poisonous hammer. Yeah, that's how I wanted to word it. I'm having a fantastic day today. How about you guys? Well, you probably can't answer me because this is post-commentary, but post down in the comments if you're having a wonderful day.
So now we need to protect the scholars. Let's regroup at the Wildspire Waste.
And that's exactly what we're doing today. Is going to the Wildspire Wastes. New area. It'll be fantastic and exciting. If you like sand and desert, that is. Now, what we're doing here is, I actually had a suggestion from a person on Reddit. Here, let me see if I can pull it up for you. This suggestion was brought to me by Reddit user Lumiere2x. He told me bone is the way to go until you kill Anjanath. I went the censored route, and everything was kicking my butt, even at max upgrade. Yeah, this was a good suggestion because I noticed that the bone armor had a high fire resistance and we don't really have good fire resistant armor. So you know what, let's go ahead and make this. The reason why I blurred out that monster's name is because it's going to be spoilers for what we're going to be fighting next. And it's a bit of a classic, this one. I also noticed that the bone armor has other resistances to it as well. So thank you, Lumiere, for the suggestion on what armor set I should go for next. It's got ice and I think thunder resistance as well. Go ahead and equip that. I actually really like the appearance of how this armor set looks. I love the hat, or the helmet, it like the most. Just invokes a Minotaur-ish feel. Go ahead and have them do the last armor piece. And there we go. Got our swanky new bone armor set. Gives us gives us a little less defense than the Jagras armor did, but it'll give us some of the basic elemental resistances. And that shouldn't matter because we're going to upgrade it with some armor spears. And by this point in the game you should have plenty to at least give your armor spears just like maybe 2 upgrades each. Okay, so once I have all this upgrading done, I will see you back in the main hub. With that taken care of, we're going to get one more thing done today, and that's making ourselves a poison hammer, which you can see I have right now. Yeah, I didn't feel like showing another Puke hunt since you already saw it once. It was easy. All I needed to do was just use an SOS flare and take care of it pretty quickly. Trying to save on competitiveness. Now, the lady gave me a quest earlier, and this was just for a new restaurant ingredient. So she just wanted a mega potion. And we get a new ingredient there, diced steak for the feline cook. to use for meals, so that's pretty awesome. Go and see what the
Sun's keeping you
field
busy?
team leader wants. Yeah, oh yeah, he's just telling us about SOS flares, which are pretty darn handy. Basically, you select, we press the options button on the PS4. I don't know what it is on the Xbox, but you press the options button on the PS4 and then go to the menu where your gestures are, and then go down to send SOS flare, and then hunters can just randomly join your play session. And by hunters, I just mean other players. So we're going to, I think we're going to have ourselves a meal and then head off to a new area, which will be pretty exciting. I always pay with points because I want to save my money for other things, although I would imagine that the zenny cost for meals is not that much. So what we're going to do here is we're going to get the wyvern skirt steak and the diced steak. Health, stamina, and attack up. Sounds like the cat burned himself. Go ahead and talk to the handler. The hammer that I have right now has upgraded sharpness as well, and poison. So that'll be nice. It's a little damage over time effect. I think my inventory is good. Let's just check here. Yeah, I think I'm good anyways. I'll see you guys when we get there.
Okay. Got it?
We've waited this long to get our hands on
And
the
we're
evidence
back.
we
Welcome
don't get
to
us
the
killed
second
now.
area of the game, the Wildspire Waste. What you'll find here is a bunch of cactus, rocks,
The slag
and
was found in
sand.
the desert area of the wild
Sand,
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 Guide us
sand,
there
and more
safely,
sand.
partner.
It's pretty much a staple for Monster Hunter to have your stereotypical desert area. But hey, at least you don't have to drink
One thing's for
cool
sure,
drinks
the
or
environment
hot
here
drinks
is
anymore,
completely different from the ancient forest.
Yes.
which I think is a welcome change. Like, in previous Monster Hunter games, you had to constantly drink hot drinks to prevent loss of stamina, but that's not a problem anymore. Get some fire herbs. I think those are used
Hey, look!
for
a waterfall.
explosives, if my memory serves me right.
Through the sand and collects in the lower areas, thus creating a mire.
Oh, great. We get to go uphill now.
Come on now, my
This
dear.
is also
Put your back in
the
it.
first area where you can get yourself some earth crystals. Earth crystals are another very common basic material that you'll use for just starting upgrades. Just double checking to make sure that I had everything.
Look at that insect. Is that some type of beetle?
The wildlife here are quite
I think she was
resilient
referring to the
creatures.
bitter bug.
They have adapted excellently to the dry climate.
Yeah, bitter bugs are
Plants have learned to survive.
quite
The fruit
useful.
scattered throughout the area has a hard shell that helps retain moisture.
I think they're used for catalysts, if I remember correctly. Either that or god bugs, which you can find god bugs here as well. Another very important type of bug, or should I say bugs, that you can find here are flesh bugs and thunder bugs. Flesh bugs you use to create stun bombs, flash bombs. Flash bombs to temporarily stun monsters.
We made it.
And
Can we have a break now?
thunderbugs used
Look,
to make
the wildfire.
shock traps
That's
to
where we'll
immobilize
find what we came for.
monsters. That's our
But
destination.
we still have a ways to go.
Well, on we go.
That's apparently where Zerora Magdaros dropped its slag.
Actually, downhill might be worse. This is so heavy.
Wasn't there a piece of slag back in the ancient forest? Yeah, they could have used that one as well. Yeah, this is just your standard escort mission, nothing too special about it. But this is Monster Hunter we're talking about.
Everyone, be careful. Mind checking it out for us there, partner?
Why do I always have to do the dirty work? Go get the honey. It's always important to have a good stock of honey on you.
No,
And lo and behold, we have a Rathian.
Jumpin' Jackies! A Rathian!
That scared the heck out of me. First time.
You know what this means, my friends. In times like these, it is important.
Now, I didn't know how to use my slinger at first, but I eventually figured out how to.
Go, go, go.
It's
Just
the,
move on through. You might
bottom
be able to use your
R2 and
slinger to
L2
create
buttons.
Some kind of noise and distractor.
They had a tutorial prompt for it earlier in the game, but it disappeared too quickly. Oh wait, what am I talking about? There's this constant tutorial prompt up in the top right corner.
run for your life!
That's a mite seed right there. Mite seeds are used to make demon drugs. There's also a defense counterpart to this, which is an adamant seed. Adamant seeds are used for making I want to say, I can't remember what they were called, but it's basically a pill that boosts defense.
Close.
It's nice if you get KO'd, and you need to supplement yourself again with buffs.
Well, like any Rathian, actually.
But she could provide the
Hopefully,
commission with valuable data.
I get to the point where I can start growing stuff with the farm.
Could I?
Shouldn't be too much farther. Right now I just still have to scavenge for stuff. The Rathian surprisingly doesn't bother me anymore.
I was aware that Zora Magdaros was an
Which
enormous beast.
I was thankful
but
for.
I am in shock over how gargantuan it really is.
Yes. It certainly seems to exceed the measurements in all the guild.
Yeah, I think
writings.
Zerora
I
Magdaros,
wonder,
call me
how many
crazy,
years does it take for a beast like
was
this to
actually
grow to such
bigger
an enormous
than
size?
Dire Morales. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. We have some mysterious footprints. And what's this?
Oh, look!
These
Apsaros.
Apsaros are mildly disturbed by something.
To this region. Wait. Why are they running?
They look scared.
I would be scared too.
See? When
If I saw
Apsaros
giant
feel
footprints all over the
threatened,
place.
They assume a defensive posture.
Whatever's out there, it could be a danger to us too. We have to be careful.
Or we could just blindly rush in and kill it.
I thought we'd never get here.
Look at it.
pretty big
glorious.
mud tracks.
It is absolutely massive. What a magnificent specimen.
We're almost there. Keep it up.
The evidence is within sight. You've done a fine job, Hunter.
Why, thank you. It's my job.
Let's see what kind of present Zora Magdaros has left for us.
Bunch of little tiny wyverns and more thunderbugs. Always use your mini-map to locate stuff, because your scout bugs can only do so much for you, even though they're an incredibly useful tool. I end up wandering around
Let's see what kind of
for
present
just
Zora
a little
Magdaros
bit
has
here.
left for us.
Oh no, here we go. I'll be quiet.
Keep pushing. Oh, look over there! Another clue!
Me first!
Eureka!
What gives? Jumping jaggies! It's a barrel! Run for your life!
Follow me. Come on.
Well, well, well. Look at this. Isn't this a blast from the
The
past?
scholars are still in danger. You have to take
None
down
other than the
barrel.
Baron himself.
Don't worry. I'll keep
This
the
guy
scholars
hasn't
on
been
terms
in a Monster Hunter game since 3 Ultimate, and he was one of my favorites to fight. I'm not gonna do a bio for this guy this episode because I don't want to overwhelm
Get yourself
you.
done before you do
I don't want to
anything else.
overwhelm you guys with my constant bios. I'll do it next episode when we're doing side questing. Spoilers: the next episode is gonna be about side quests. Kind of surprised that they didn't use his old theme from Try. But hey, I actually really do like this new theme for him. You see how my hammer's like giving off these poison clouds? That's an indicator that my weapon is laced with poison. And now you can see that the Barrock is frothing at the mouth with poison. And another indicator to tell whether a monster is poisonous or poisoned or not is you'll see damage numbers if you have those enabled. Now with the Barrock, you can you have to break its you have to break off its mud before you can do any damage to it. Here I learned that when the screen is glowing red, it's a good time to brace yourself. Because if you don't brace yourself, you'll lose a lot of stamina. There you go, I get knocked off by the Barrock.
Don't sweat it. Pick yourself up and try again.
Yeah, it'll charge at you. And it has a tail swipe as well. I don't know if it has any new moves. good indicator to tell whether a monster is enraged or not is it'll have little puffs of steam coming off of its head. Yeah, if you're not careful and you take too many hits, the Baroth will be able to stun you because you're getting hit with rocks, basically. That's concussion material right there. Ouch. Well, yeah, they changed how mud works in this game. So if you run into the mud, it doesn't stick on you like it did with Try and Try Ultimate. It's just like a little area of effect thing. So like, as long as you're in the mud, you'll be slowed down. You just have to roll out of it. In previous games, you would have to use a cleanser to get rid of things like mud and snow, but I think they changed it up to make sure that the flow of the fight stays relatively coherent. Because it kind of breaks the immersion a little bit to have to stop and then carry your or clean off the mud or snow off of you. And the Baroth can also break parts of the environment right there. I don't know if it was rolling around in the mud there or if it got knocked down from trying to break that. Baroth hits decently hard. It's nothing too concerning, really. I would recommend either using a hammer or a lance for this one. A lance so you can block its charges. But you should keep in mind that blocking Baroth's charge will drain your stamina quicker. Now see how I got knocked off and I grappled myself? I really like that mechanic. You can use a hammer to break its helmet. I think that's what I want to call it. A helmet, yeah. I like the Baroth because it's basically a giant mud dinosaur. But unfortunately, I'm not going to be using its armor because it has, if you put the armor on, it'll give you a weakness to fire, which will not be good for certain monsters coming up, like the Anjanath. Which I haven't seen it breathe fire yet, but I'm sure when I go and fight the thing, it'll be spewing fire everywhere. I like this area of the Wildspire Waste. It's nice and pretty. You can use the these land masses right here to take cover while you sharpen your weapon. Although do be careful of those guys. They can be jerks. Every area has to have an enemy where it charges at you and gives you knockback and interrupts whatever you were doing at the time, doesn't it? It's been a staple of the Monster Hunter series. There, I figure out how to use my slinger. You can also use the little land masses there to mount as well. Oh, and the Baroth is another monster that has a stunning roar. There's going to be a point where we get to where the all the monsters will eventually have roars that stun. Got a nice charge attack off of it there. I actually think that was a material part that I missed. Oh well. Yeah, because I was too preoccupied with fighting the Veroth itself. Trying to get a good, decent, like a couple decent hits on it, but it's just not cooperating with me. Like, just sit there and let me pulverize you. Yeah, like it's gonna do that. There's that tail swipe. You probably want to use a longsword to cut off its tail. Although, some of your attacks will probably bounce off the barrel since it has rocky armor. One thing while you're using a hammer, since it takes a little bit of time to sheath your weapon, you want to roll around the place to kind of close the distance between you and the monster. I know it takes a little bit of stamina away from you, but not that much in terms of stamina. Yeah, I really do think that it was a smart decision on Capcom's part to allow you to have an infinite whetstone. Less time sharpening means more time killing monsters, which is great. Doesn't break up the flow of the gameplay at all. Very nice design choice. That was a parashroom that I just collected. Parashrooms are used for making paralysis shots for bowguns and arrows. Basically any ranged weapon, really. Nitro shrooms, I can't remember what they were used for, but I think it was a speed increasing item, if memory serves me correctly. Yeah, see how they changed up the mud? And sometimes the Baroth won't have any more mud to shake off. And that's your free opportunity to get a couple hits in. One thing I should also mention is that over time monsters will build a resistance to status effects. So, first time you inflict a monster with a status effect like sleep or poison or paralysis, it'll be much easier, but it'll eventually build up a tolerance to that. And it'll take more and more hits for that status effect to be applied again. And there we go. Got the monster limping. I wonder what this thing eats. I wonder if it eats, like, probably eats some bugs of some sort. Get a nice big charge attack, and boom! Nicely done. And that's all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. That's our first Baroth done with. I feel bad for the poor guy. All he wanted was to spend the rest of his days rolling around in mud. That's one thing. That's another thing too. Sometimes you just feel bad for monsters after you kill them, because all they were doing is minding their own business. And here you are, like bothering it and bludgeoning it over the head with a hammer. But hey, that's just how nature is. Quest complete. I'll be quiet.
Oh, hey! Glad you're back. Oh, don't worry. I found a safe place for the scholars to hide. I guess I'll go round them up. Wait for us back at camp.
You there. Are you part of the Fifth Fleet? Then that means the Elder Crossing is upon us again. The years fly by faster than I can count them. I too am a hunter of the First Fleet. Might I trouble you to share your tale with me? Let's find a suitable place. So, my old friends are well. Praise be. It sounds like the good scholars are as incorrigible as ever. Might I ask, are you tracking the monster that dropped that massive slag? I as well. It seems so easy. Follow the trail, find the truth. Well, it has been a pleasure. Nearby you will find my camp. I trust it will be of some avail to you and the others. Please pass a message on to the commander that I am safe. But a force compels me on, and I intend to see where it takes me. If you too feel so compelled, then we will cross paths again at the end of all of this.
Was that who I think it was?
And with that business out of the way, we can collect our rewards with a completion time of 20 minutes, 10 seconds, and 26 milliseconds. Not too bad. Good sources of earth crystals as well. Palico leveled up. Not quite there yet to the next level of Vigor Wasp spray. I should look into other gadgets as well. Automatic material storage. Yeah, that's just talking about how items will automatically get stored in your storage box, which is a nice feature as well. I wasn't really a fan of the sword and shield. Like I said before, I like hard-hitting weapons. Lances are good because you can constantly just poke, poke, poke and hide behind a shield.
Good to see you.
Fine work out there. Thanks to you, our people are safe and we know more about our target than ever. Since you've left, We've been charting all the evidence we've collected across the continent. The scholars think they'll be able to pinpoint Zora Magdaros' location soon. Seems like a scholar has gotten separated from his escort. I need the fifth to find him. The scholar was separated from his escort while collecting evidence in the Wildspire Waste. Alright, and with that, we get the eastern camp set up in the Wildspire Waste. So we can go on there. We can go on an expedition if we want. The man you saw used to be with the First Fleet. He was the Commission's only Wyverian hunter. Truth is, he's essential to our mission here, but some time ago we lost track of the fellow. One moment he'd said he'd discover the secrets of this continent, and the next he's gone. I tried to go with him, but he wouldn't have it. You're the first to have seen him since. Part of me is furious for him leaving, but honestly, now I'm just glad to hear he's okay. If he said not to worry, then I wouldn't worry. He'll return to us when he's ready. Thanks for the heartening news. I mean it. My throat's getting kind of dry. Let's go check out the slag. But first I noticed that these people over here had something to say. Like the smart biologist. There's a slag.
Good to see you.
Splendid! The Fifth Fleet, just who I was looking for. At present, we at the Research Commission's Survey and Capture Squad, or the Go-Getters for short, are studying Kuliaku's behavior. We are hoping to capture one alive, accustom as scout flies to its unique characteristics, and then release it. That will allow us to track the monster and uncover its mode of life, and there's nothing in the world I desire more. Hence my decision to request help from the Fifth. I would like you to...
Good luck.
Bleh, I skipped the text. The quest is called Snatch the Snatcher. Any assistance you could give would be greatly appreciated. And that's what we'll be doing next episode, along with another side quest as well. Yeah, that slag was pretty big. It definitely could kill people if it fell off the Zara Magdaros' back, if it fell in the wrong place. Couldn't spit that name out properly. But I think that's all for this episode. We got a lot done today. Let's see here. We forged ourselves a new set of armor, which was the bone set of armor. The idea was courtesy of Lumiere X2 on Reddit. We made ourselves a new bone hammer, or a new poison hammer. We explored a little bit of the Wildspire Wastes today, and we killed our first bear off. This has been Nightshade, and I'll see you next episode, where we will hopefully get our first batch of side quests done. See you later!